Oi, oi, oi! Spin the bottle. What a fun game. Oi, oi, oi! Maybe the world's not such a bad place after all.
Are you sure about that?
Hello, my name is Bob, and welcome to the Cat Golf Show. Now, this is just sort of, this is going to be a whatever type episode today. I don't really have a ton to say, but I just wanted to get on here and sort of update my life, update the situations that I'm going through in my life. Now, in the last few videos, honestly, no, well, I don't, just the last video, I was quite upset, visibly disturbed in some form or shape. And I want to say that things have gotten better.
Climbing to the top, throw myself up.
Recently. This is exactly what I was talking about, the fluctuations of mood and stuff. It's like week to week, it's very different. But last night I had a date. Okay, I had a date. Capital D date. The person. And it went really good, in my opinion. I'm waiting to hear back from the person to get their take on it, but in my humble opinion, it was honestly really good. Now, I wanted to just touch on my dating problems and how I think that I've learned to solve them. Now, first of all, first step is obviously antidepressants. Yes, I'm going to talk about them again. So, my anxiety is pretty fucking bad regardless of what I'm taking. Let's be real here, okay? My antidepressant only does so much to alleviate my anxiety. Sure, I'm less sad generally, but I'm still very anxious. I'm still fucking sweaty as fuck. I literally have my plan, and this was genius, okay? I'm smart. This is 400 level IQ play that I did here. So, I picked out a fit, which I may show. And I was fucking hot, okay? It was literally and figuratively. It was like 93 degrees outside. It was hot as fuck, but I looked good, okay? I looked hot. I know that I looked good. I got a compliment on my fit, okay? I looked good. I've never worn, this is a little side note. I've never worn a shirt that's like cropped. I know crop tops for men are like, they're coming in a big way. Men are more confident now. They're feeling more confident now. They're showing off their midriffs. They're feeling sexy. I don't really have anything to show off necessarily. Like, my chest looks good, my arms look good, but I still got a little bit of a flabby stomach. I'm by no means like fat, I guess, whatever. But I don't have abs because my body fat percentage is still higher than a lot of other gym guys. So no abs are visible, which sucks. But it's whatever. So I was a little bit self-conscious. I don't really go anywhere without wearing an undershirt, like a tank top underneath my shirts, just cause that's the standard fashion thing that men do. So last night, I didn't wear one because I was like, okay, do I want to be like kind of flirty and slutty and like show off my midriff? Like, oh no, I lift my hands up and then it shows. And I was like, yeah, fuck it. I'm going to do something bold. I'm going to be confident. And it did. It worked. I felt very confident in that outfit. I was not like constantly pulling at the shirt, which I thought I would. I was not like anything. I looked good, okay? I forget exactly what it was. Oh, sweaty. Okay, yeah. My preparations for this date. So I drove. It was a decent distance, mostly just because of traffic. Like, the location of this person is not necessarily very far away from me. It's just like traffic makes it much worse. Like, driving into the city is obviously, driving into the city, traffic is always very bad. But traffic was atrocious. Of course, it's a Friday night, whatever. But I was 400 level IQ point play here. I wore a different shirt to drive down and wore a tank top to drive down in, so I didn't sweat up my shirt. Because like I said, if you watch like the first episode, I'm a sweaty boy. I get anxious sweats, which stinks so fucking bad. So I was like, okay, here's the strat. I'm not going to wear the shirt that I'm going to wear to the date because I don't want to stink it up before the date even starts. I'm going to wait for that to happen naturally as the day progresses. So I wore a tank top so my pits were free to sweat. I was free sweating out into the open. It was great. And I bought a little travel kit with me, okay? This is the first time that I've ever done this, but I was like, I'm going to do this because I need to. So in this travel kit, we have baby wipes to moisturize the pits, get them smelling a little bit fresh. We have deodorant to put on, another fresh layer, before you go in. And we have the cologne to spritz on, one spritz on the shirt, on the front, on the neck, so that when you go in for the hug, you smell fucking great, okay? That's my travel kit. And usually I go out, I forget to bring these things. Like, I don't have a deodorant in my car. It probably would be a good idea to keep a deodorant in my car in this fucking heat. Probably melt. But usually, by the time I get to whatever event I'm going to, I'm sweaty and I'm stinky. So I was like, I'm going to avoid that this time. And it fucking worked, okay? It was a great strat. Highly recommend it if you're a sweaty boy such as myself. But yeah, I did that. Talked to a lovely couple in the parking garage that I parked in. The guy was like, you don't come to the city much. And I was like, no. It was funny. It was cute. It was super cool. I figured out like my problem. Usually it's just like I this silence feels oppressive to me. Like when you're on a date with someone or when you're talking to someone just in general, there are moments of silence. There are moments when neither one of you necessarily has anything to say or add to the conversation. Now, usually when that happens, I start to panic, okay? I need to fill the silence with something. And on my first Hinge date, which happened in 2022, that's what happened. You know, anytime that we wouldn't talk, I would be constantly blabbering, filling the silence with cringy jokes that did not land. And I think that's where I went wrong on that date. So this time, you know, just not even after from that point on, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stop doing that. So yeah, first little while, you know, I was pretty nervous. You know, I admit it. I said it. I was nervous. You know, and I asked my date, I was like, were you nervous to meet me? And she was like, no. And I was like, oh, okay. Not, she didn't say it like that. She was like, no, not really. And I was like, okay. And I was like, yeah, I was. She's like, were you? And I was like, yes. But yeah, it was a fun moment. We laughed about it, okay? But, yeah, I just like, when the moments happened that were quiet, I just let the silence, like, naturally, I just let it, like, we relished the silence when it was there. And then, you know, conversation would start back up again naturally. But it was very natural. That's the word that I would use. I didn't force any humor. I felt in my element. You know, it's always you're always nervous at the first, you know, on the onset. You're nervous because it's a new person, you've never met them in person before. Like sure you've talked to them, you've texted them, whatever. But meeting someone in person is a very different beast. You know, you get to literally they're right in front of you. You get to see their mannerisms, their affectations. It's very, very different than if you were to just like text them or call them or whatever. So it's just like that I suck myself out a little bit about that when it comes to dating. But yeah, I would say overall probably, you know, outside of dates with my ex, which were, you know, were really good, just because I wasn't as nervous with her. But I would say probably the best date that I've had, and I've not been on many, so I don't know if that means anything. But it was probably the best date that I've had in terms of my personal performance. I feel like I didn't make a fool of myself. Let's just say that. I think I had W or maybe. But yeah. So I don't know, like, what's the post date protocol? You know, I'm consulting my Discord friends to get their opinion, to get their takes on that. Of course, they're so unserious, so they're giving me like bullshit advice, but which I may or may not take. But yeah, I had a really fun time. I think that she did too. Fingers crossed. Maybe we have a second date. Who knows? Who knows? Okay. I'm just saying, it's a very attractive woman. Okay, it's very attractive. So, yeah, I didn't fumble. Talked about music a little bit. I've been listening to a lot of folk music recently. I found this guy. So Spotify they're assholes. I actually just recently there's a couple of artists that were taking their music off the platform. King Gizzard fucking took their music off the platform because they hate the Spotify CEO, which is totally valid. And I'm just like, damn, so many artists are starting to do this now, which is good for them. You know, you guys got to get your money. It's like hard enough to be an artist. But yeah, Spotify's algorithm recently it's gotten better, I feel like. So they have like a Discover Weekly playlist that compiles a bunch of songs that the algorithm thinks that you'll like based on what you've listened to. So I've been listening to a lot of folksy stuff recently, and the algorithm, there's like different, you can like, the Discover Weekly playlist has different sections. So for me, it's like one is Baroque pop, one is like indie rock. There's couple other categories. So I clicked the Baroque pop one, obviously, because that's like probably my favorite genre of music. And so I've just been listening to the playlist randomly, just a bunch of different artists. A lot of them I don't like, some of them I do like. But it recommended me this one guy. His name is Art Lone, from the 70s, like a 70s musician who died when he was like 30 years old, really, really young. He made one album, I think, and that's so many artists that I've found recently have that. It's just like they've worked on a bunch of other stuff, but they only have one project themselves that they like worked on. And it's a fantastic album. Like Kurt Bocher is another artist that I've been listening to. He worked with a bunch of other like 60s, 70s acts, and he only had one album that he made himself, which is a fantastic album. I've been listening to that, and that's sort of folksy and Baroque a little bit. But yeah, this new guy, Art Lone, I've been listening to his music. Super, super good. It's a super short album, though. You know, it's 10 songs, 10 tracks, 23 minutes. You know, crazy short. Some of the songs are like 1 minute, and I'm like, damn, like the best song in my opinion. My favorite song so far on the record is called I'm Amazed, okay? And it's super, super good. The drums in that song are like super progressive. Like, it doesn't sound like it's from that era, if you know what I mean. I think the album came out in 1973. But like the beat switches up over like while he's singing on the verse, it's like switches up a little bit, and it's like, damn, you fucking just get in the groove. Like he has the perfect voice. Like the vocals are very reminiscent of that time period. It definitely sounds like an old record, but the instrumentation doesn't, and I love that. I love that about the record. It's a sweet, sweet, succinct little album. Very, very cute. All the songs are great. I honestly want to say it's a 10 out of 10 album for me because I just love all the tracks. There's something appealing about all of them. And there's just something about like folk music in general that is like, it's sort of wistful, but in a cute way, in like a beautiful way. It's like, it's the kind of music you want to listen to when you're driving somewhere with the windows down in the summertime, and you're just sort of like maybe reminiscing about a love that didn't work out or something like that. A lot of the songs feel like that to me, just folk music in general, and that's why I've been really trying to dig into that genre. I tried to listen to a Bob Dylan album, and it's just too much harmonica. Like the harmonica was hurting my ears. Like I was at the gym and had my headphones on, and the harmonica was just so fucking grating. I just couldn't. I had to turn it off because it was hurting my ears. Like the volume was down too. I had to turn it down way low, so I was hearing the gym music that was playing, fucking blasting on the speakers amidst the fucking Bob Dylan harmonica solos, and I was like, nah, this is not the vibe that I'm going for. So I turned it off. Let me know if the rest of his discography is like that, because if that is the case, then I probably won't listen to more of his stuff. But yeah, I'm on a quest to find more of these like amazing one-off albums that these musicians that are super talented make, and then they just like they either disappear or they die, which is so tragic. But Art Lone, highly recommend him if you're into the folk genre, if you're into your folksy era like I am right now. I highly recommend it. But yeah, I wanted to get on here and update you guys and just let you know that I'm sort of recovering. I'm bouncing back a little bit.
Are you sure about that?
Maybe life is not as bad as I think. Maybe.
Oi, oi, oi.
Thanks for watching the Cat Golf Show. Please leave a like. Please smash that subscribe button. I appreciate you guys sticking it out, and I appreciate you bearing with me through these emotional challenges that I have. I know, I'm struggling in life, but ultimately I'm just living, and maybe you guys can relate to this. I know that I'm not the only young adult who is struggling with, mental health, finances, dating, all that stuff. It feels hard to be a young adult these days, and I feel like the older generation is so quick to point a finger at us and say we're so privileged and we have so much, and we just like sort of we take it for granted, we abuse it, we don't really acknowledge how much we have. But it's like the challenges that we face today are very different from the challenges they faced when they were coming up. So I feel like we need more empathy. Like I feel like the world in general just needs more people that look at other people and say, without judgment, and they say, I understand your experience is different than mine, but I'm not gonna judge you for that. I'm not gonna hold it against you. I'm gonna try to listen and understand what it is you're going through and help you out some way. That's what I feel like the world really desperately needs. I know this is the end of the video, but just another side like life update thing. Two people that I knew that I was decently close with, one of whom I was decently close with, how my job just got laid off. Okay, my job is downsizing actively. I'm very, very scared. Yesterday was a very tough day in terms of that, because I'm like, yeah, it's just for the fact that I was there longer than them that I didn't get laid off. So, but I don't know what I would do in that situation. So I'm frantically searching for jobs now, and I'm trying to keep that positive attitude, like I said, but it's very scary, obviously, because it's like, this is all I have. I have one source of income, and it's this fucking job, and if I lose that, I have no idea what I'm going to do. I live on my own. My parents are moving away in a couple months, so, this is all I have. This is literally all I have, so I'm trying to lock in. I'm trying to finish my novel. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff going on in my life right now, apparently, so, yeah. That's basically it for this episode, guys. I really appreciate you watching and sticking by me. Hopefully the next one's going to be positive too. Hopefully we just keep the positive vibes going and stay positive, stay happy. Life is looking up. I want to keep that energy. But thanks for watching again, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.